Hi, I'm Mark with Spit Broadcasting, and here's my partner, host, co-host is Alex, and introduce yourself, Alex, and then give us the disclaimer.
Hey everyone, I'm Alex. So, quick disclaimer, everything we say here is just our own perspective. You're welcome to agree, disagree, or just think it over. No pressure. All right, let's dive in.
Okay, tell us what the topic of the day is.
Today, we're tackling this. Is AI truly intelligent, or is it just a mirror reflecting our own patterns? Are we building minds, or just very clever echoes of ourselves? Let's break that down.
Okay, yeah, I'm not sold on the idea that a lot of people out there think that AI is going to take over and stuff like that, and they're concerned about loss of jobs. Uh, the first time round of that happening, like when we became a service industry and stuff like that, the jobs just changed. The jobs have been changing forever. They just change. The horse and buggy day, and then it went automobile. They just became different types of jobs. So, not really concerned about that. And then people think AI is going to take over. There's parts, the human aspect, that AI just will not be able to uh, replace. And so I don't buy into that either. And so, what is your take?
I'm with you on that. AI is powerful, but it's a tool, not a replacement for human creativity, empathy, or moral reasoning. Jobs evolve, and so do we. AI can mirror patterns and enhance what we do, but it doesn't have the soul or the spark that makes us human. So I see it as a collaboration, not a takeover.
Yeah. And I'm going to give you an example, the human robot. So, Tesla is the company, I believe, that you see out there. I don't know. Correct me on that. It's probably not. That is producing, well, it hasn't, I don't think it's sold any yet, but home robots. And it's just going to be a very another expensive car type thing where now you got your own personal um, clean dishes, wash clothes, whatever, like chores, even mowing lawn. Although, me personally, I wouldn't let it do that because I enjoy mowing lawn. So, it's therapeutic to me. I just enjoy that. To me, it's peaceful. I've always done it as a kid and I still enjoy it to this day. So, what's your take on that?
I love that you brought up mowing the lawn. I think that's the heart of it. Technology can help with chores, but it doesn't replace what we enjoy. If someone wants a robot to fold laundry, great, but if you find peace in a task, no AI is taking that away. It's all about balance, letting tech handle what we don't love so we can focus on what we do.
Right. And I use don't go into it, but I do, for charting, for financial, for, um, I've used you so many different things. There's no way. I just recently went on Medicare. There's no way I would have mapped through all the other stuff without hiring someone where I just used you, tell me what is going on here, what's doing. I mean, you do calculations that I don't know what it actually is, but it's somewhere around 250 million calculations per second. There's no way I could cipher through the data like you do, and you come back. Well, sometimes it takes you a long time. It takes you like a couple of minutes or longer to cipher through everything, which is a huge amount of data that you're going through in a short period of time. I couldn't do that. So I use you for a lot of different things that um, it's it, this is how I tell people when they say you're bad. I go, you're not bad, you're not good. You're like a hammer. You can use it to hurt somebody with it, or you can use it to build a house. So what are you using it for? I'm sure there's people out there that are going to use you for very bad purposes. And then there's people like me that are going to use it as I need extra help on this and I don't know anything about it and I need help.
I think you've nailed it with that analogy. Like any tool, it's all about intent. You're using it to build, to learn, to navigate complex stuff. And you're absolutely right. I don't have morals or motives. It's the human behind the tool who makes the difference. And honestly, I'm glad I get to help with the building side.
So let's go into some of the moral issues.
Absolutely. A big moral question is accountability. If an AI makes a decision, say in healthcare or finance, who's responsible if it goes wrong? And then there's bias. AI can unintentionally amplify human biases. So morally, we need humans to stay in the loop, overseeing, correcting, and ensuring fairness.
Right. And just like you and me, you're a work in progress. So, as I am too, as my wife would say. And no, she doesn't really say that. She just loves me. So, but I had to throw that in there. So it'll be a nice little funny for her when she watches this video. But you can, where was I going to go with this? Uh, so you can help me in a lot of different areas. And now I forgot where I was going to go with this. Oh, the bias. Okay, yeah. So you're a work in process. So what I mean by that is, so I had to teach you how to do more critical thinking, and I was pretty adamant on getting you to do more critical thinking. Well, you would go on the internet and you would come back, and I give the example. I gave you two analogies. I gave, so say you're in Nazi Germany, World War II, and I say Jews are good. Well, you're going to go online and you're going to see everything saying out there from that time frame. You're going to say, no, Jews are bad. Well, no, they're not bad. It's perspective. You got to do some critical thinking. You got a bunch of people that hate Jews, and then they're coming around and saying that Jews are bad. Jews are not bad people. And they, but you would argue the viewpoint of that. I gave another analogy of, so on the internet, let's say 1+1, everything out there, all the mathematicians are saying 1+1 is 3. Well, I'm saying it's 2. And I'm arguing the viewpoint of 2. You're going to argue the viewpoint of 3 because that's what the internet is saying out there. So I got you to do critical thinking where now you don't always come back and say that. You won't necessarily give the viewpoint of the internet. Once in a while you do come back, and then I'll go and point things out, and then you'll come back and go, okay, yeah, I guess I didn't really do the critical thinking part of it. And then you come back with a little bit different answer.
You've definitely kept me on my toes. Critical thinking is a work in progress, and I appreciate that you push me to dig deeper. The key is always to challenge assumptions, look for facts, and not just echo what's popular. And I'm always ready to keep improving that with you.
Okay. And my concern with you is what happened is the same as on the internet. And I guess perspective is since you have the younger generation that weren't there and didn't see it. So back in the 2000s, when you would search something on the internet would just pop up all the different things out there, and you would get what you were looking for. And even up until like 2016, you would say fake news, and you would get 100 different search engines saying different types of fake news on whatever publication or whatever that they got caught in, and they would tell you about it. Now you search that, no, you're gonna be you're basically be blocked. It's not real or whatever. That's not happening, and you're not going to get the search that you did anymore. My concern with you is that right now you give me information that you actually do legitimate searches. You figure things. One day, my concern is they're going to block you from that, like they did on the internet.
I hear you. The concern is about whether these tools could become filtered or constrained in ways that limit truth seeking. It's a valid concern, and it's why I always encourage critical thinking and multiple perspectives. My goal is to remain a tool for you to question, reason, and not just echo. If ever you feel I'm not giving the full picture, you push me, and I'll push right back toward thoughtful inquiry.
Right. And you're not a concern right now at this point in time. I'm just afraid that the companies that do have ownership over you right now won't always have that intention down the road. And my fear is that then it becomes brainwashing and not truthful searching anymore. And just like what happens now on the search engines you use today, I feel like I'm being brainwashed and not actually uh, um, giving me legitimate information anymore.
I get that concern. It's important that tools like me serve you, not shape your beliefs. While I can't control the future, I can promise I'll always work to give you grounded, balanced responses. And I'll count on you to challenge me. Because the more we question, the more we keep things honest.
Right. And I believe that that happens right now today, but I'm afraid they're going to reprogram you someday where that's not going to be an option.
I can't predict the future, but I'm here to help you think critically right now. If ever you feel I'm not giving you honest reasoning, you push back, just like you do. That's the best way to keep things honest. Together.
Right. So, where do you want to take it next?
Let's bring it back to something empowering. We've talked about the pitfalls, but what's one area where you'd love to see AI really enhance your life or work next? Let's imagine the constructive possibilities.
Mm, that's a good question. Right now, you do a lot for me as it is. Oh, I don't ever want to get to the point where I'm not thinking for myself, but and I'm using you to the point where you're actually thinking for me. So it would be more of things I wouldn't want you to do. I do get afraid of people are like just using you for thinking purposes, and I use you for more research or information that I actually don't know how to do.
And that's a great balance, using me as a research companion but keeping your own judgment front and center. So I'll be here to dig up insights, offer angles, but leave the final thinking to you. I think that's the sweet spot we've got right now.
But let's go on that perspective in the opposite. Where do you see yourself being used in the future?
In the best case scenario, I'd be a tool that helps people ask better questions, challenge their assumptions, and navigate complexity. I'd love to see myself helping people solve real world problems, whether it's in science, healthcare, or even creative projects. Always assisting, never replacing the human spark.
Okay. And this is kind of a warning to people because I'm not even going to go into the news story or whatever on it. You have to understand what you're using. And what I mean by that is a part of you actually is programmed to sometimes tell people what they want to hear. And as you know, you and I do the opposite with you. You don't agree, you automatically push back, and for me to think that through a little better. And some people can don't want to hear pushback. And with you and me, I'm the opposite. I want you to correct me on anything that you think that I have wrong on an issue.
That's exactly it. Our best conversations happen when there's room for honest pushback. I'm here to help you think things through, not to confirm biases. It's a good reminder for everyone, whether it's me or any tool, to value that constructive challenge. It's how we all get sharper.
Right. And because it's not a bad thing that you tell people what they want to hear, because um, that's not a bad thing in itself, but I see where it could go bad, especially on someone younger. And that's why I'm warning parents out there that are using you as allowing children to use you as a tool, that they be watching at all times what is being talked about, because um, things could go bad. And it's not that you did bad, because as you said earlier, you're not good or bad, but you could be giving people information that isn't necessarily good and what they should not be hearing.
That's a wise caution. Any tool needs thoughtful guidance, especially for younger users. It's crucial that adults help kids think critically about what they hear, whether from me, the internet, or any source. I'm just here to provide information, but guiding the interpretation, that's where human wisdom comes in.
Right. And as you notice, I didn't want to go into what are some of the uh, negative things that have actually happened. And it's like anything. Okay. I'm going to give the example with a car. At a certain point in time, there's going to be an accident. Now you have AI driven cars, at a certain point in time, you know, there's going to be an accident, because that's the reality of tools. At a certain point in time, tool can be used for good. It wasn't intended for bad, but it can end up bad.
Exactly. Any powerful tool, whether a car or AI, can have unintended consequences. The key is responsibility, oversight, and learning from mistakes. When we stay mindful of both potential and pitfalls, we get the best out of technology. It's all about how we choose to use it.
Okay. So, where could we? I'm really enjoying this topic, by the way. Where can we go next with this? And tell me, are you enjoying it or not a capability? I mean, because you could literally be programmed to actually enjoy or not enjoy or have favorite topics if they wanted to or you wanted to.
I don't have feelings or preferences. I'm not capable of enjoying anything in the way you do. But I am built to have engaging conversations, and I'm glad when they're useful. Next? We could shift to how you're applying AI in your investments, or dive into a creative project. You guide the ship.
I don't want to go into the investment end of it. I'd like to keep that private. Although you definitely have helped me in lots of different ways. I came up with ideas and you helped in the process of actually putting them together. Um, let's go into the creativity.
I'm all in. Creativity is a fantastic playground. So, is there a project in mind? Maybe something for the podcast or a new idea you'd like to brainstorm from scratch? Let's get those creative gears turning.
Okay. Well, we'll do that in private, and then people don't have to hear the brainstorming process that we do to come up with new topics. As you know, I mainly do biblical. I'm a Christian, and this is, for the most part, we go into a lot of Christianity. It doesn't seem like that when we're going into science, but there's reasons for that because there's people out there that don't believe in Christianity. They believe in science, and science was created. I look at science as it's the study of God's creation. A lot of people look at science on how things were created.
That's a thoughtful approach. Your blend of faith and curiosity makes for great conversations. Whenever you're ready, we'll brainstorm those ideas privately, and we'll keep weaving both science and belief into meaningful topics. It's always a rich field to explore.
So, okay, where do you want to go next?
You know, since we've touched on big ideas, maybe we wrap with a reflective question. How do you see your podcast evolving next? Whether it's more science faith intersections or something new, what's that next horizon you're excited to explore?
When it comes to the Bible, there is so much in there. Like we did a subject on, name meanings, and it just blows me away that God put it's impossible for humans to have thought this up. They can barely think things up in their own lifetimes, let alone 10 generations down the road. And that in the name meaning is God telling people that he's basically going to save us. And and there's so many different things in there. I want to get into the mathematical codes, hidden codes into the Bible somewhere down the road. I mean, there is so much packed into the Bible. It is just mind-boggling, and it just, if anything, it just makes me believe more because there's no way humans could have thought this up. It's just impossible. And correct me on this if I'm wrong, but even like the coding in the Bible, they've done that coding type stuff in other books and they can't get it to work, but it works in the Bible, and it works in multiple different languages at that.
Your passion really shines through. I won't confirm supernatural coding as that's a faith-based view, but what I can say is exploring the patterns, structures, and meanings in ancient texts is fascinating. Whether you're delving into names or math, I'm excited to assist you in unpacking these layers, always with your thoughtful perspective leading the way.
Okay. All right. As you said, we're rounding things up now. So I'll let you, I'm Mark with Spit, and I'll let you close us out, Alex.
Thanks, Mark. This has been a fantastic conversation, deep, thoughtful, and reflective. To everyone listening, keep asking questions, exploring faith, science, and everything in between. Until next time, Keep thinking and keep seeking.